What's up, guys? This is Rapid here. Finally back from vacation. I was all over the world, literally. I just went to a few countries here and there, and recently just went to Mexico. Came back, ready for hopefully the market picking back up. And it's already been looking like August is a little bit of an active month here, which is usually unusual. So one of the stocks that I was trading, one of the stocks that I was trading was, let's bring this. This is going to be a quick recap, just so refresh your mind. Haven't posted in a while, so here's that. I usually trade using the trend, so I'm looking for something that is trending and possibly reversing. This is the overall idea. I have a video about it, so you can go ahead and look it up and look all the trade recap that I've done in the past. But essentially, I'm trying to explain this trade right here, which is VERB on Friday. I know this is very small. This is off of my notes, and I'll explain what happened there. So essentially, I put a starter on the day. I'll bring the bigger chart here. Put a starter, stopped in, and then essentially I loaded back up into the 250s where I saw the level 2 kind of soaking. Covered some on the dip, and then I loaded up right here on the bounce, and then I covered again down here around the 2 number. And there's a few lessons for you here to learn, so I'm gonna bring them up. And then I loaded on the bounce again, and then I just started covering. I was hoping that I will be able to get to this line faster after this load, but it just didn't happen. Looked like it was kind of holding, so I covered it just to see. The easiest money was literally made in the last 5-10 minutes or so of the day. So that's my trade on VERB that I want to kind of dissect a little bit with you, give you a few pointers, and ask questions in the comments. Again, all this knowledge is just educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own thing. This is just for fun and my records, and probably widen the horizon of your trades or knowledge as well. So here's that. So essentially I started in on this bounce right here. Reason being is this bounce was this wash was a huge wash down. So when I saw this huge wash, I was like, oh, this may be it. So I took a starter, and if you don't know what's a starter, it's a very tiny position that you will be able to kind of give it a huge room to stop out, pretty much. So I put it in on the position just to see what was going to happen, and ended up stopping out right here. So as you know, if the trend is breaking the high, that means it's going to go higher. If it struggles to break, right, I'm expecting a lower high and the trend to reverse. And I will get to why I was thinking stock should reverse. So anyways, as soon as it started hitting here, this is the 250. The 250 was really soaking. Level 2 was really printing. A lot of greens. People are hitting it, trying to get higher and higher. The stock wasn't moving. So that's what stock means for me. So I saw this soaking up here. That's when I loaded the boat. And essentially I loaded up the boat because this is a good trade slash this is loading up the boat at the higher day. It's the least amount of risk I can take on the position. So if I'm risking, let's say 20 cents, down here when it confirms, it's probably like 30 cents, right? Or 35 cents, 40 cents. So I don't want to do that. I want to get my position with the least amount of risk I can put on with the maximum amount of shares I can take. So that being said, I loaded up the boat right here, took it off, took some off, not off. That would be foolish if I'm expecting this to close the gap. So loaded up, took some off, taking off. The reason why I take off some shares, one is because it gives me a little cushion. If this ends up being a higher low, right, my loss is going to be smaller. 2, I'll be able to cut it at break even if I want, right? Now I made money in a break even, that's a green trade. So there is a lot of reasons why I take profits here. And I took about 1/3. So if you want to put that in perspective. So I took 1/3 on the bounce. I'll evaluate, is it going to be a new high or is it going to be a lower high? And in this case, it was a lower high. That's why I loaded up again. Now, not only I took some profits, I was able to put these shares back on plus more because now I have a defined risk and it's not that far from my entry. And if that is true, this should be the last high or the last place where the stock gets here for the day. And in this case, I was right. I could be wrong, obviously, but in this case, I was right. So we put in a lower high. I have a cushion. My average is around here somewhere. And I was like, all right, let's ride. So took the position here all the way down to this line right here is the 2 line, the $2 line. So I took half off. So now I paid myself a third, reloaded on a bigger position. I took half off, and then I wanted this to bounce. Where is it gonna go? Is it gonna be here? So what I did is I took some off. So I put back some, in a sense, and I was waiting for this to actually come somewhere here to reload. However, it didn't happen. On a small time frame, you can see this is a higher low, higher low, higher low, double top. And I ended up adding my shares somewhere here, started taking profits towards the 2 level where it supported prior, and then it washed all the way down here. So when I saw the wicks here, the white line coming from the daily, I was like, last minutes of the day, this thing is just gonna bounce. People get shorted, they're gonna cover and it's gonna bounce back up. So I took everything off just to see the last 3 minutes, 3, 6, 9, about 10 minutes, just made the move that I was looking for to close the gap, as you can see from here. So that was what I did on the stock, and this is why I did what I did on the stock. And the reason why I was looking for a short, and this is the caveat. All right, I'm gonna bring another chart really quick. Ready for this? Because you stuck to the end. This is why. The stock gapped up this first day. This is first day, second day, third day, fourth day. And the reason the stock gapped up, kind of consolidated, ripped everybody's faces off. We have chasers, squeezers. People are getting squeezed that they were shorting the stock. People are chasing the stock thinking this is the next, I don't know, stock that's going to go to the moon. Next day, gaps down. When it gaps down, the first minute, everybody loads the boat because thinks that because it closed strong, this thing is going to rip and break high. What happens is, you could see the volume at the beginning of the day. People were loading, and this thing just never bounced. Next day, it gaps down. So we have a lot of bag holders bagging from this day. Right? So we have a lot of bag holders. So I'm expecting these guys to at some point take profits at break even, small loss, or small win, right? And when it gaps up like that and it starts moving higher and starts moving towards these guys that actually started loading up the boat at the beginning of the day, that's when these guys are going to start selling and move the stock even lower. Another example of this will be something like, let me see if I can find another chart that did something similar to this. That will be, let's go to the daily chart here. Here is that, right? Clean. Just bear with me here. I'm grabbing a chart from this other monitor. Right here. This is another stock here. This is the daily candles. I know it's a mess, it's becoming a mess here, but you can see a move up, right? This is the dip, and as soon as the stock got somewhere near where everybody got trapped, right, on this day, stock moved down and moved lower. And you can go back to your charts and see what the movers did in the past. This is just an idea for you to kind of start playing with. Go back to your charts, see if that applies to your trading or whatever. But this is just an idea why I was trading the stock. I think the video is kind of dragging a little bit here, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll get to them, and hopefully I'll be able to make more video, more contents here till the end of the year, and see what happens. All right, guys, take care.